Hi Gemini, welcome to the channel. It's Michelle, your practical priestess here at Divinely Genuine. So we're here to do your full moon in Scorpio tarot reading, which will be, the full moon is on Sunday, April 29th, 2018. So yeah, if you guys are here for your sun sign, because you're a sun sign Gemini, awesome. You also have a moon sign and a rising sign or ascendant. You need your birth time to figure that out. It is just as valuable as the sun sign. So be sure to Google your natal chart and figure out your moon sign and ascendant sign, as the sun sign represents what you're working towards. The moon sign represents your inner world, so your emotions, reactions, and instincts. And the ascendant represents the lens through which you see the world. Okay? If you'd like to leave me your birthday, birth time, and place of birth in the comments, I can get that information for you. And once you do have that information, like if you're a moon sign Gemini, then watch, each video pertaining to each sign and see which one resonates the best with you. Alrighty. With that being said, let me go ahead and commune with Spirit. Divine Spirit, I thank you again for allowing me to serve you in this way through the tarot. We thank you that at any point in time we can call on you for guidance, insight, and advice, and you're right there willing to help our higher selves to grow for the greater good and for the light of the world. We thank you, Spirit, for your divine truth. I ask, Spirit, that you would protect my energy for interfering with this reading, and that the energy of the reading not attach itself to me. This is for Sun, Moon, and Ascendant Gemini during the full moon in Scorpio, which is happening April 29th, 2018. The energies are here and already building up, so, this is about a week or two before and after the full moon, I would say. At least a week, I guess, within the full moon. I would say it's about, when it's almost full as the energies build up to a few days after when it's still pretty much full. So hope you guys are doing well. I'm offering some natal chart readings. A full natal chart reading is very extensive and can be a little pricey. I'm not as much as a lot of other people, as I only have a couple years experience, but do plan to charge more in the future. If you guys are seeking help for a particular area of life, I can read your chart in that way as well, and any particular transits. Like we have Jupiter in Scorpio right now. May 15th, Uranus will be moving signs into Taurus. So I can take a look at your chart. And what it does is, not only does it look at how it will affect you personally according to where that transit is happening in your chart, but you can see what aspects are affecting it as well, which would be like trines, squares, that sort of thing. Again, Spirit, I ask that you would bless this reading to allow me to be a clear channel of communication from you to the audience. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising during this full moon in Scorpio on April 29th, 2018. And I ask, Spirit, that the energy of the reading not attach itself to me, and that you would protect my energy from interfering with the reading. And we thank you for it, Spirit. Thank you for allowing me to serve you in this way. Thank you for giving us insight, advice, and guidance through the tarot. My doggy's over there smiling. What? Do you see angels? Do you see angels? I just love how dogs smile. It's so cute. What is it? I want to turn the camera and show you guys, but it takes me forever to like set it up. Like, I think I did like 3 tries with this before I started. What? She's so pretty. Yes, she is. Thank you, Spirit. You're a good girl. Alright. I feel like I should light a little sage, so let me do that. I've already done it this morning, but it's a good idea to do it between readings. Let's see. Hi, Starby. She says, I don't like that smell. Alright. Let's do it. Let's do it to it, Geminis. So I know you're busy. Just kidding. Astrology jokes. Or, yeah, I guess that would be right. Zodiac's astrology. Geminis are very busy. Y'all's mind's moving, you know, and your Gemini's the mutable air, so you're very like ideas going. You want to stay busy. You guys typically talk with your hands. There's nothing wrong with it. I just love, you know, how we're all so different, and you can start seeing it in the different categories. So I know you're busy. Let's get going. So we have the Chariot. Beautiful. Okay. So you are, that's a major arcana card. It is the 7th card. The soul extended in action. Gaining momentum and speed, swift, assured victory. Facing a situation head on. Progress, movement of all kinds, exerting control. Prolonged burst of activity. Intention carried forward as action, controlling the lower self, the quest and journey, moving towards a goal. Awesome. So you guys are controlling that lower self, you're moving towards your higher self with momentum, facing a situation head on, and you're moving towards a clear goal. That's a beautiful card. As the advice for that card, we have the guide. Far away. The light attribute of the guide card represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. The shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Okay? So with the shadow, if you feel led to give someone spiritual insight, if you feel led to, like you feel in your stomach that you've got to tell them this, or if you read astrology charts and you're feeling like you should tell them, you know, something more than what they've paid for or something like that, then by all means do it. You don't want that karma, you know, you want to, not even karma, you want to do what Spirit is leading you to do. That's one way I look at that. And then you don't want to not take someone's spiritual advice that they've given you, or the advice from Spirit, whatever it may be, in place of some kind of financial gain. Okay, just keep that in mind. I mean, each situation's different, so I could come up with scenarios all day, but each situation is different, and so you will know what it means, you know. If you've gotten spiritual insight, don't place the financial gain over that, okay? The light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself, okay? So as you're imparting on this higher self journey, going towards your higher self with momentum and speed, moving towards a clear goal on this journey, remember that the divine is in you and in life, and you're on the flow. You're on the divine timing. Okay? We've got the 7. I I gotta watch how I pick up these cards. It's upright. It's the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. See, he's, it's like he's contemplating as he's out hoeing the garden. Seven in astrology. So you've got 2 sevens, and in astrology that represents the house of Libra. And that's going to represent, well, it represents mainly relationships. It is ruled by Venus, so it could also be beauty, the way you're decorating your space, your garden. You know, it can be love, love relationships of all kind. It can also represent justice, as Libra is the justice system, the balance beam, fairness. It's give and take. It's you and I, you see. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles. And Pentacles represents your self-value or self-worth, as well as what you're reflecting back to you monetarily or in the way of your resources. Seven of Pentacles is the waiting game. So he is looking down, waiting. He's having patience with his slow progress in the garden, watching things grow, delayed results, paying attention to detail, diligence and hard work, more haste, less speed, awaiting an end result, tending to the daily life, waiting. Okay, so as you're embarking on this new journey towards a clear goal, leaving your past and your lower self behind you, remembering and representing the nature of the divine in yourself and in life, because you're feeling led by your higher self to do these things. That means you're in the flow. You're in divine timing. As you're doing that, you're coming to a place where you're going to need to be patient with this journey, that you're making the first steps, and that there's a waiting game, that you're planting the seed and things will grow. Gosh, I gotta watch how I pick them up. The Virgin is the advice card for the Seven of Pentacles, and it's maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. The shadow attribute is fear of intimate union. Okay. So, whatever you're moving towards, being led by spirit, that you're having to wait for, is asking you, or wait and be patient for, is asking you to just maintain a pure heart and spirit. Not to go lower in the shadows and start to fear intimate union with another, right? You don't want to fear what you actually want. You don't want to fear love, but you want to maintain being symbolic and purity of heart and spirit, okay? And that helps you keep a clear channel to stay on the path as well, so that, you know, you're on the right path with spirit, and you're able to hear and see the signs from spirit, so that spirit can continue to guide you. But remember, and even if you're not, you know, this, when I see fear of intimate union, obviously I think people pushing away love relationships. And so, you know, maybe you aren't ready for something like that, and that's fine. There's a divine timing for all of the things. But Spirit's advice is saying maintain purity of heart and spirit, because we don't know the timing when God will, or the goddess will bring in things to our lives. So our job is to just listen. And in this reading, it's saying to keep your heart pure and open. Keep it open, your heart and your spirit, okay? Don't fear intimate union, okay? Staying with the lighter side of things is not going to, you know, it's going to keep you from having to fear, you know, bad relationships or past things that might have happened, okay? And a good way to do that is always to control the thoughts. Especially with you Gemini guys. Y'all are very, you're an air sign. My moon sign's air as well. And, you know, you can be very, and my ascendant, very in the mind a lot. So catch those negative, fearful thoughts and turn them to faith and continue to strive to be pure in heart and spirit. We've got the 8 of Cups. Cups usually represent water signs or emotion. It's funny because 8 is the house of Scorpio in astrology. Scorpio is a water sign, Cancer is a water sign, and Pisces. Cups also represent emotion because of the water signs. It's interesting that that it's showing the moon in this card of the 8 of Cups, and that our full moon for this reading is in the sign of Scorpio, which the 8 represents in astrology. And that house would be Scorpio is going deep, being intuitive. They like to dig as deep as they can go. Yeah, so let's see what the 8 of Cups is telling us here. The 8 of Cups is the vision quest in the wasteland, searching for spiritual truth, leaving something behind. It's totally resonating with what we're talking about here. So as you're searching for spiritual truth, going towards this new journey, you're leaving things behind. You're leaving the shadows behind. You're leaving what's not serving you anymore behind. Letting go of the past and moving on, abandonment, questing for an inner truth, seeking the spiritual realm, the wandering stranger, feeling that something is missing, pilgrimage. Okay, so that's searching for spiritual truth, leaving something behind, letting go of the past and moving on, abandonment, questing for inner truth, seeking the spiritual realm, the wandering stranger, feeling that something is missing, pilgrimage. Sorry for repeating that. I had to get it back to me. I started to drift. Okay, so like I said, you guys are, leaving, you're going towards a spiritual path, okay? You're heading in a direction here with a chariot, with a clear goal in mind, leaving the lower side. You're following the divine, seeing it within yourself and outside of yourself. You're having to be reminded, that you have to have patience during this time, and don't fear intimate union, but remain pure in heart and spirit. And as you're on this spiritual journey of seeking spiritual truth, during this full moon in Scorpio, Spirit is saying to be the detective. The light attribute is great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And I feel like because this Scorpio full moon, because this full moon is in Scorpio, the truths are going to come out. Spiritual truth, especially, as that's exactly what the house of Scorpio represents. You're digging as deep as you can go for spiritual truth. It's also the 8th house represents rebirth and transformation. So guys, you very well, as you're going towards this new journey, may look back and be like, wow, I was really transformed during that time. The light attribute of the detective card is great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. Now the shadow side is falsifying information and voyeurism. Okay, so you want to make sure not to go to the shadows. The shadows is where, all the heartaches are going to come because you're not living with your higher, lighter self. All right, so stay on the higher side of things and you guys are good. So just to reiterate, Geminis, you are being led in a new direction with divine guidance. You're being asked to wait and watch the slow progress as you remain pure in heart and spirit. And you guys are seeking spiritual truth on this journey. And Spirit is saying to use the great powers of observation and intuition. Okay? Beautiful reading, Geminis. I wish you guys the best full moon. Howl at the moon. Peace.